Hey guys, it's 101R Smith. Last time we took a look at the Zaku-II Kai. Now we're taking a look at his counterpart, the Gundam Alex version 2.0 from 0080, War in the Pocket. So this is the Gundam Alex, and this is a 2.0 Master Grade. The original Alex came out in 1999, one of the very first Master Grades to come out during its beginning of its inception back in the 90s. Back then, you had 1/100 high grades, if you remember the old Wing and X kits, and then you had Master Grade, which was brand new at the time. Brand new in that it was like kind of a bit better than the high grade 1/100s. Color separation wasn't still there, but it was still pretty impressive for its time. Alex came out and, right around the time for its 10th anniversary of the time, because the original OVA came out in 1989. For its 30th anniversary, we get a 2.0, and, Bandai doesn't throw out the 2.0 that often. However, there have been some kids that have been in desperate need of a 2.0. I'm especially thinking about the Alex and all of the GPOs from Stardust Memory. Those guys need Master Grade 2.0s or Verkaz badly. But here we are with the Alex, and according to Gundam lore, this was originally supposed to be Amuro's replacement. Basically, more than about halfway through the original Mobile Suit Gundam, Amuro got so great with the Gundam and became such a good pilot, and I think that was even before he had awakened as a new type, that the Gundam couldn't keep up with it. So I guess the White Base and the Earth Federation commissioned a new mobile suit for Amuro, but it never got to him because of the design aspects. The Alex is designed for new types, but they just didn't understand what they were, and it probably would have been, in theory, a failure, but it's been proven in multiple theory videos that had Amuro gotten the Alex, he would have demolished Char in the Zong in the final episode of the animated series. So it's kind of weird to see like a what if come to life in a different OVA in a different way. Unfortunately, Amuro did not get the Alex, he just got the metallic coating, but it's a cool what if. But beyond that, we got this really cool kit, the Alex. Definitely different because it's coming with kind of like two forms, and then they kind of push that even further with this kit. It's coming with what they call a 3-phase system. So it's going to be interesting to see how they replicate that here. So while we have the box, let's put it together and see what we got. All put together, and here we have the Alex 2.0, and I gotta say, when I think of the Alex, I think of literally a walking tank. Don't get me wrong, I think everyone knows at this point how big of a Wing fanboy that I am, but something about that old school style of the original RX-78, the Alex, the Mark II, those kits I really just think of just a walking tank. This thing is made like a brick, it has a strong color. They really went more with the white and the blue rather than having a kind of balance between the traditional Gundam colors. The Alex, 2.0, it has like that classic look. Nothing too much out of the ordinary, no too much aesthetic, no too necessary outer detail. This thing looks strong, it looks built, it looks sturdy, and you definitely see with the Alex, you get to see the root of where other mobile suits in the RX-70 line will go, especially with the Mark II. The roots of the Mark II and beyond are definitely here in this design, and it looks fantastic, it looks strong. Now, while it looks great, let's take a look at the articulation. As we always do, we start with the head. The head has a flowing double joint and can go 360 no problem. It's kind of held up pretty much on a higher position than usual, so you won't have no problem there. The shoulder and arm are connected in the same way, but differently, and can go 360 degrees, no problem, no abstractions here. The arm has a cool thing where you're gonna get a double swivel because unfortunately it's very difficult to move the wrist, so you get a swivel on the bicep and on the lower part of the forearm. The waist, you're not gonna get side to side, but you're gonna get a double jointed waist section. And again, free flowing 360. The only thing you have to worry about is possibly knocking over the side skirt, so it's unfortunately bump a bit easier than I like, but I guess, you know, you gotta take what you can. Legs can get a full 180 parallel to each other, which looks nice. Gonna get a nice upper movement on the leg. Front skirt's gonna move out for you. You're gonna get a strong double jointed knee, and you're gonna get double jointed ankles that can go up and down, 180 side to side, and you're gonna get toe pivots on the front and the back of the Achilles heel, which I haven't seen in a while, so that's pretty cool. The articulation on the Alex is strong, and you can pretty much get anything that you want beyond just the basics. Accessories. We're gonna start with the boring one first, and this is just your plain old beam rifle. You have to slap 5 pieces together and then boom, there you go. One thing about the Alex is the hand connections are a bit different than most other kits. So it does have that traditional tab for holding the beam rifle and the rocket launcher. However, you're gonna slot in the hands forward instead of sideways, which is gonna give you a really strong connection. Even though this is a boring accessory, Alex is pretty much never going to drop this thing. It's connected in 2 different ways, and with that strong grip with the connection on the front, he's never going to let it go. Next off, you're going to get the rocket launcher. Rocket launcher is a recycle of the RX-78 version 2.0. It does have a few modifications due in part with the Alex. This is non-canon. We never see the Alex with the rocket launcher, but I guess given that this was supposed to be Armo's next full Gundam, they would have given him the same weapons layout than they would have. So that was given with the rocket launcher. So I find that kind of interesting that they recycled that with the RX-78. And it works pretty good. You're probably not going to use it that much, but it's there. Next, the traditional shield, and it comes with that decal, the Alex. If you're wondering, no, this doesn't come with water slides or dry transfers. This is just a sticker decal. So for those who are wondering, sorry to disappoint you here. That is a sticker. Obviously, of course, you're also going to get 2 sets of beam sabers and the effect parts that are associated with that. The shield is pretty cool in that it's strong. It connects to the side of the forearm. Has nice sturdy connection, 2 points. And then obviously the main gimmick about the Alex is the Gatling guns on its wrists. And they work pretty well. You push the fist down and then you open up the side of the forearm and it pops up right there. It does have, at least on my kit, a tendency to have the blue forearm piece pop out from time to time. But that's okay, I can kind of live with that. The Gatling gun is made with silver plating, and it was actually undergated, which was pretty cool. So getting that out isn't a problem, and then with the shield, they redesigned the shield in that you could actually use it in tandem with the Gatling gun. In the 1.0, you just have to disregard the shield altogether. Here, you can actually open up that blue part of the shield, and the shield will open up and pivot for you in order to get out of the way, and you can use the Gatling guns at both hands. And you can use the shield on both arms, so there's never really a problem or a need to really have to pick one or the other, and that's fucking awesome. So one of the big main gimmicks about the Alex is its 4-frame system here. Bandai went out of their way to really put emphasis on that. You kind of build up the Alex in a way where you make it really kind of come to life. So the first is obviously with every master grade, you're gonna get the inner frame. And then of course you put together and you're gonna come up and get the Alex, which again, like we've iterated before, is a great look and it looks strong. It looks like a walking tank. Now, what is different from the 1.0 is that you get the Chobin frame, which is kind of like an inner frame for the Chobin armor. Kind of makes it stronger. It's not just, the Chobin armor isn't just something you slap together. You got to build up with this system here and then in order to get the Chobin armor together. And it does actually take a little bit of time. You're not going to just slap it on together. Just to do this for you guys alone, this took a good 20 minutes. The Chobin armor inner frame was easy to put together. The Chobin armor, that took some time, but I kind of really find it cool to have like a 4-frame system here with this Gundam kid. And it's really innovative. Like, if you look at all together, all three parts, you get to see them kind of build on top of each other, and it's this very satisfactory way of getting your kit together. Kind of the evolution of the Alex from a simple inner frame to its unique look that you're going to get together. And I really think it's a cool idea, and it really came together really well. And I just kind of wonder, you know, it'd be kind of neat if maybe Bandai took this on a larger scale and kind of innovated even further to take it beyond where it was even meant to go, like a Super Saiyan 3 style. But I don't know, maybe we'll see that in the future, maybe not. I'm not a true sayer. But here we are with the Choban armor, and putting it all together, as I just stated, it does take some time. You're not gonna just great piece here, boom, boom, boom. No, it doesn't work that way. You gotta actually take your time with the inner frame. The inner frame is easy to slot together. The Gundam Alex was designed with slots that you just kind of slide it in. The Choban armor is going to take some time because there's multiple layers. You gotta have to slide it in, pull some doors in and out, and it's going to take you time. But if you're a really big fan of the Alex, and especially its Choban armor, I definitely believe that it's worth the time to sit down, figure it out, and have that stronger look. And it just looks like it kind of reinforces my idea that the Alex is a walking tank. It just is made to look like it could just take a nuclear bomb and then be able to just disregard the armor and then boom, I'm ready to go and kill your ass. Obviously, one thing about the Alex with the Choban armor, it's still designed to keep the Gatling gun feature on it together. You can still open it up, it slides out, and the mechanism still works, and that's pretty forward thinking. You don't have to lose that when you're trying to build the Alex together. However, one of the small drawbacks is that you do have some loss of articulation, and the fact that it is a bit kind of heavy, more so on the mid chest, so you do lose some articulation there. But once you get it on an action base, it kind of makes up for the fact that you can't move certain limbs the way you want to move them as you thought. One bonus about this kit, you get two little bonuses. You're going to get like this face mask for the Choban armor. That wasn't in the anime. Again, this is a non-canon kind of inclusion. This was originally included in a SD model kit, and then Bandai kind of brought it here in 2.0, which I think helps complete the look even more. Because one thing I will admit about the Alex was it was really kind of silly to just see, oh, it's got the armor, but it's still a Gundam. It kind of gives it a bit of a mystique. And then you're going to get this broken V-fin, which happens in the anime after a battle with the camper. It has that busted V-fin for its battle with the Zaku-II Kai. And then for those who want to do it into custom painting, it kind of gives you like an open route opportunity to go in and kind of put in together a more dirty and more battle damaged look if you really want to put in all of the work to make it all come together. All put together, and with the Alex 2.0, this was a kit that I'm very satisfied with. I'm happy I took my time building this kit. I wanted to get this review out in a week, but a combination of IRL stuff and also, you know, it just took a lot of time to put this kit together. I wanted to take my time because this is a master grade, a 2.0 master grade, which, like I said before, Bandai doesn't put out that many. So when they put out a 2.0, they want it to feel special. And I wanted to appreciate the Alex, especially since I did see War in the Pocket for the first time in probably 16 years last Christmas. And it made me fall in love with that OVA series. It was so much fun, and just to see the battles between the camper and the Alex, the Zaku-II, and the GM sniper when it tried to invade the colony, that was a fun bit. But with the Alex, this is definitely a kit that deserves a 2.0. It earned its 2.0 marker. It's strong, it's fierce, very few minor issues that come with the kit. One of them decides to kind of pop out of nowhere sometimes, which can be a bit annoying. And one thing I forgot to add is that Bandai decided to bring back the vinyl material. If you guys remember the Thunderbolt kits, they had that vinyl material that you would put in on its joints to kind of reimagine that kind of gimmick that was included in the Thunderbolt anime. So, like in the Thunderbolt section, the lightning would show up, and if you got hit, it would fuck up your joints. so they included that with their mobile suit, so they tried to recreate that in model kit form. The vinyl does return in the shoulders. I did try to make it work. Personal opinion, I think I should have cut it in half and then had shared the one vinyl piece with the shoulders. I just kind of gave up on it. It kind of made the arms loose after a while, and I could never get a sturdy connection with the vinyl on. I took it off, and I'm alright with that. It's not like it's gonna get seen that often. And you know, the one other little nitpick is that there is a couple of bad nubs on the Chobin armor and the blue parts in the Alex. If you were to cut off the blue pieces patiently, you'll be able to avoid most of those nub marks. And then the few nub marks that are there, just get a blue Gundam marker and wipe it off in like 10 seconds. Boom, you're done. They're hidden. And those are one of the only few complaints. This thing overall is solid. It's strong, it has a lot of fun gimmicks, some of which are kind of innovative, and I'm happy to include that in this kit. And I can't recommend this kit enough, especially with the Zaku-II Kai. You're gonna get a nice little bundle with it, and it's gonna make you feel like if you're a big fan of 0080 War in the Pocket, you really wanna get this. In fact, I know for 2021, I want to go get the GM Sniper 2 and the Camper. Camper might be a bit older than all of these kits, but that OVA was such a great piece of Gundam work to be seen, and it was the first work made not from Tomino, so you got that going too. Someone from an outsider's perspective writing a Gundam story. Now before we go, I gotta give a big shout out to Meg Turner. He is my very first patron on Patreon. He gave me $3. He signed up for the $3 tier, which gives you a special shout out on one of my reviews during any given month that you are a Patreon too. So thank you, Meg Turner, for making that happen. I'm so happy to finally have a Patreon. I put it out a year and a half ago, and finally I'm starting to get some momentum. I got a first Patreon. It's awesome. I'm so thankful for that. So if you ever want to try to contribute to Patreon with me, you never have to, but it would be appreciated. Tiers start at $1 a month and then go on beyond there. So if you ever want to join Patreon, it's there. And again, you don't have to. It would be awesome if you could. And this is 101 Smith, and I will see you later. Peace.